Hi everyone and welcome to the Road to Indy TV. I'm JP Manterola and with me Tristan Vautier. Tristan, welcome back.
Thanks JP, I missed you.
Another weekend Indy Lights at Pocono Raceway. Tristan, tell us a little bit about this track.
Well, it's going to be similar to Indianapolis in the way that it's another long, fast oval track. So I think we can expect the same cars to be at the front, same drivers. So, you know, who knows, maybe Gabby Chaves wins another one. So it's going to be interesting. Those guys just want to go for that big scholarship to step up to IndyCar, and it's getting more and more intense.
Well, this weekend is supposed to have started yesterday with a practice, but because of weather, the raining all day, all afternoon, and then got dry, but the track wasn't in conditions for racing.
Exactly, it was dry, but some moisture was coming off the track from the ground, so they couldn't run. You know, it was too dangerous, and they decided to wait until today to do the first practice.
Now, today is the opposite. It's really, really sunny. Sun is really strong, but it's windy. Is that affecting also?
Yeah, it's going to be a big factor because when it's windy like this, your car will feel a certain way at one end of the track when you are facing the wing, and at the other end of the track you will kind of feel the opposite just because the wind affects the way the wings work. So it's going to be tricky for the drivers. It's not very comfortable when it's windy on an oval.
So practice one just ended, and we saw Gabby Chaves taking the fastest lap. Luiz Razia was second. Matthew Brabham with a really awkward accident in the pit lane.
Yeah, Matthew was fastest. Got up to speed very quickly, but he just lost the car braking down to the pits. I think you know the way the cars are set up on an oval, they're set up to turn left. So when you brake, it pulls to the left a lot, and maybe he broke a little too late and got surprised and just spun and hit the wall slightly, but not a big crash. Matthew, what happened?
Yeah, well, not good things. Good things didn't happen. I mean, I came out of that last corner and I was going to come in the pits, and I didn't realize how close the entry of the pit lane was to the last corner. I was used to having a little bit of space. I came in, I'm not going to make it. So I started hitting the brake, and as I hit the brake, I got panicked and I hit the brake a little bit too hard and I locked it up, just spun out.
Well, right now we are hearing in the background IndyCars are practicing, but after that we're going straight to qualify.
Yes, exactly. It's going to be a line. They go one after the other, like in Indianapolis, and see what happens.
All right, well, let's walk around and wait for the qualify.
All right, let's walk around.
Finish of qualifying and interesting results.
Yeah, very interesting result. Obviously, Zagvich on pole position, very fast. Gabby Chavez is not where we're expecting him. He's fourth though. I think he had to lift in his first lap because his second lap was actually the fastest of everybody. But he seems very strong for the race. There was a short practice after qualifying, and to me he seemed like the driver who was able to follow the closest other cars. So he might have the better setup in traffic.
Yeah, Jack Harvey also getting the second place and qualify. Almost made it to the pole position.
Yes, he was like 1,000 or 2,000 of a second. I'm not sure exactly how many, but it's crazy because I guess both Zagvich and him were flat out all around the lap, and you wonder, okay, where is the difference? Is it a little preparation of the car? The teams go to waxing the cars,
yeah.
go down to those details to try and make these things faster, so it might be such little details like this.
Then we have in the third place, we have Luiz Razia. It was fast, but not the fastest first lap.
Yes, exactly. He had to lift on his first lap, so that compromised his chances. And also, when you have to lift on your first lap, you lose momentum, so your second lap is not as fast as it would have been if you were flat.
Let's remind everyone in the houses that qualifying goes by the average of both laps.
Exactly, not the fastest lap, the average of your two fastest laps. That's why you need to be fast from the first lap.
Well, I noticed that on Sac Beach. He did the first lap at 184 something, and the second lap again 184 something. So his average was really high.
Exactly, and that's the trick as a driver. So there's a line of cars. You get out of the pit, you have one warm-up lap, and you need to be straight away flat out on cold tires. So you really have to push yourself out of your comfort zone. And it's very difficult, you know, to keep that foot down, and you know the car is moving around, but usually if you keep your foot down it's going to stick if the setup is good, but you know, it's not easy.
Yeah, so we have in the first place Sac Beach, in second place we have Jack Harvey, third place we have Luiz Razia, fourth place we got Gabby Chavez.
It's going to be a very interesting fight.
Now, let's go a little bit about gossip here. You know, Road to Indy TV, we need to know.
Okay,
we need to kind of,
yes.
Do you know something? I know a couple of things.
My friend, she's not here this weekend, Alex Baron. Apparently he's not going to be back for the ovals this season. He's going to be here on the road courses, but he's not going to race any more ovals.
So if I understand right, he will continue on the road to Indy, but not running the ovals.
Exactly, and you know, it might be like not such a bad decision from the team. He was going to struggle to fight for the championship in terms of points. You know, he was not really in contention for the title, and it's his rookie season. So, you know, overs are costly. There is a high chance of crash. So they're always very risky financially for the teams. So, you know.
Another team that we're missing is Team Moore.
Yeah, Team Moore, same thing. Maybe, you know, they don't want to risk the ovals, know that they're out of contention for the title.
So we will see him back when we saw a road track, right?
Yeah, we should see them back.
All right, well, while the fight is finished, let's get ready for the race because I think it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be a lot of action. Watch out.
All right, let's get ready. And finish of racing in Pocono today. What a race, isn't it?
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, I think everybody thought that Zach Vich was going to walk away with that win when he started to pull away after a couple laps. But, you know, as I said after the last practice, Gabby Chaves had a very good race car. He was able to follow other cars very closely and get a lot of draft and pass, and that's what got him to the lead, and then he just walked away.
Let's go step by step. Couple of first laps, we saw a compact group going in the top. We saw Gabby Chavez stepping up really from the, what was it, third place?
Fourth position, yeah.
Getting all wide open, trying to get the lead. Then we got Harvey, we got Luiz Razia, everybody trying to. That lasted for a couple of laps, right?
Yeah, exactly. It lasted for a couple of laps. Obviously, the track is very fast. They can draft a lot, so even if you're a bit slower, you can stay with the leader. You know, if you're not too much slower, you can stay in the draft and keep up with the leader, especially when the tires are good. Then throughout the race, some guys degrade their tires more, and that's why you see the gaps creating themselves.
Well, right at the moment of the first laps, when all the pack is right there and you're fighting for it, we see that Luiz Razia go off track. Tell us a little bit what happened there.
Yeah, well, he was side by side with Jack Harvey in that kink, turn 2. And, you know, he was on the inside line, and I mean, Jack gave him just enough room, you know. I think there was more than a car width. Obviously, they're racing, so you cannot give too much room. And I think Luis might have felt a little squeezed and went left a little too much and touched that inside curb. And at this kind of speed, you know, it creates a lot of weight on your inside front wheel, just hitting the curb, and it makes the car loose, and sometimes you cannot keep control. And yeah, it's too bad for Luis. Obviously, the championship battle is so tight that he didn't want to lose these points, but it's the way it happens. So do you think you had the car to win today? Or?
Yes, I mean, definitely I had more car than Indy, and I quite showed because my start was good. I was leading by the start, and then I went for the lead again on Zach, and then when started the confusion. But I mean, up to that point, I felt that my car was much better than last time, and I was able to go and catch the guys.
Another one that he went back a little bit was Jack Harvey. Did a fantastic, almost pole position. He was right there. Then start of the race, and we saw him in third place, and he couldn't catch up in the entire race.
Yeah, it seems like he didn't have the pace of the two leaders. I have to say, though, Zach Vich slowed down towards the end of the race and really saw that Jack was going to be able to pass him, especially entering the last lap. I mean, it was right on his gearbox entering turn 1.
You think 5 more laps and he get him?
It's hard to say, you know, because I mean, you need to get alongside, and it's very hard because obviously you have the draft, but it's very hard to stay up close from the car in front in the corners because you get kind of dirty hair from the car that's in front of you. Its wings really messes up the air, you know, and you have no downforce, so it's hard to follow closely, and that's where he was struggling to make the pass happen. So it's hard to say, but I think he had a good shot. Yeah.
Zach Vich couldn't catch up to Gabby. Looks like Gabby Chavez, once he got to the lead of the race, he just went for it and just drove it to the win.
Yeah, exactly. I think one of the keys was also that Gabby didn't seem to slow down at all throughout the race. He was fast from the start, and Zach was kind of able to keep up for a couple laps, but then, you know, Gabby just kept that pace, and Zach, I think, started to have to lift maybe in the corners. His tires were going away a little more, and that was it for Zach.
So, talking about Zach Vich, you're going to laugh about this. Look what I have.
Hey, buddy,
Hey, buddy.
what's up?
How are you? Yeah,
Good,
very
you?
well.
Good job.
So
Well,
you're
welcome
saying
to
good
the-
things about me, right?
Yeah,
he was saying
always,
good things about
always.
you. Welcome to the Road to Indy TV.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be here.
What a great race here in Pocono, isn't it?
It was exciting, definitely. I mean, the Indy Lights guys really hung it out there. A couple hung it out too far, but you know, I think it was a good show for the people here that came and watched.
We were just talking about how you at the first laps, we were all push to catch Gabby, and then all of a sudden he got to a pace where he kind of kept consistent through the race. What happened out there?
I got to give it to Gabby. I mean, he had a great car. He had a fast car, and you know, at the beginning for me, I was pushing fairly hard just to try to get a gap that I could, and just I think we missed the balance a little bit too much. Just had a little too much understeer, and as Tristan knows, on a speedway, you scrub a lot of speed really quickly that way.
So did you have to lift after a while? Or?
Yeah, we started to get into the point, well, just with the tailwind into turn one, you know, it starts pushing the car up on the exit. So the combination of the wind, the dirty air, and our setup really kind of made turn one quite difficult for us to run in dirty air.
I have a question though. Talking about ovals and all that, Matthew Brabham was really fast in Indianapolis. That's an oval, right?
It is,
Well,
it
this
is.
is an oval.
Well, it's a triangle,
Yeah, it's a triangle.
and
You told
Indy
me that we were-
is a square.
Okay, you got me all
He
confused,
doesn't
and
like-
I bet you everybody there is confused too.
Matthew, I have a feeder for you. Matthew has never liked triangles. He had problems with triangles at school as well. And we didn't want to say it before the weekend started, but we knew he was going to struggle.
And that was my secret weapon.
Really? All right, so there's ovals and there's triangles.
And then
All
there's
right,
triangles
more
that are
seriously,
oval.
I think the lack of practice really hurt him today. He started out very fast right out of the box and then had this mistake and went straight into qualifying. Didn't have much time to learn the track, and then next thing you know, it's the race, and you prepare your setup for the race not having driven enough, and maybe they missed the balance. Maybe you know more than us, but
Because I mean,
yeah.
for me, this is a frightening place if you have a bad car. I remember last year coming here as a rookie, I was definitely afraid of this place until race time, and I was able to take that experience to kind of put it to get the pole here. And I think Matt, you know, he was really quick to begin with, but maybe made a couple of wrong decisions for the race car. But I mean, it's one race at a time. I think he'll be back up there soon.
What was your point of view on the Schmidt-Peterson cars?
They were really quick. I mean, Razia made that mistake and went out early, so I really just had to worry about Harvey at that point. But the last few laps of the race, I was having to be very defensive to keep him behind me.
Yeah, so you think it's just your tires going away too much?
I think it was a part of it. You know, if you start off with a bad balance, it kind of just starts to grow from there, and you can kind of mask it with your tools. But once you run out of your adjustments in the car, you're kind of stuck with what you have.
So explain us the adjustments, because people might not know.
Well, in the car, you know, with our races, we're doing 100 miles, and you have basically, you have two adjustments that you can soften or stiffen the front or the rear of the car, as well as a weight jacker, and you can move weight from one end of the corner to the other. So that really just allows you to adjust the balance through the corner. You know, if you have understeer, you can make the car a little looser and vice versa. So it's very nice to keep the car quick, but once you run out of those tools, you're kind of stuck with what you have, and you got to drive it differently to fix it.
As you can see, it's not just driving, it's all these adjustments that they have to do. That's pretty complicated.
Yeah, you gotta be smart. Oval is a lot about your head. Obviously, you gotta be very good behind the wheel, very talented, but you got to be very smart, because if you don't set up the car properly, there's nothing you can do. It goes too fast, the walls are too close, you cannot compensate or overdrive, you're going to crash. So you have to be very smart and talk with your engineer a lot and know what you want from the race car to be fast out there.
A very big win for Gabby Chavez, his second win in a row,
Obviously, yeah.
and it's making the championship a lot more interesting, isn't it?
He is making it exciting, and he's making me have to work a little bit harder. But you know, like I said before, congrats to Gabby. He did a great job.
How did you feel in the car when you were seeing him pull away, and obviously he's the guy you're fighting for the championship with?
Well, that was the thing. Like, as he was starting to pull away, I told myself, I said, you have to push. I mean, that's your championship right there, and it's pulling away from you. And I did everything that I could, and I just, at that point, I thought finishing second's better than finishing third, so we just kind of focused on that.
All right.
Exactly.
Well, coming up is Toronto,
Yes.
and a different configuration. This is not an oval.
How do you like the track?
Oh, I love Toronto. We were very quick there last year until we had a small accident in qualifying. So I think we can go back, hopefully, you know, be right up there, get another pole, and take that win that we need.
Well, I hope to see you in Toronto.
And I hope to
and
see you
everybody
and you.
in the Road to Indy TV. So thank you for joining us, and for
Thank you so
everybody in
much
the
for
house,
having
Thank
me.
you, Zach.
Thank you,
stay
Tristan.
tuned. Road to Indy TV.
Bye,
Thanks
guys.
for watching us.